So it's been kind of in the works the last few days, but it looks like Arsenal will sign Benfica left back Nuno Tavares. This is kind of a position that I've been screaming for Arsenal, to find an alternate left back for a while now. And it's nothing really to do with Kieran Tierney on the pitch, because when he does play, he's one of Arsenal's best players, future captain for sure. But he does get injured quite a bit, and Arsenal has tried to fill that hole. Bayern's play there a little bit, Cedric Suarez, I think even Maitland-Niles before. We've used Saka there. So there have been a ton of players who have kind of tried to step in, but we haven't really found an alternate to Kieran Tierney when he is out. 21 years old, Nuno Tavares, he can play a bunch of positions: left back, left wing back. He could play right back. He can play left midfielder. 68 career games for Benfica. He has 2 goals and 12 assists. Numbers aren't too bad. Like I said, he's still very young. Contract runs through 2024, so he still does have, 3 years left on his contract. So the time he's 24 years old, I guess. So we do have some time with him, and just watching him a little bit, he has a lot of flair for a left back. He really likes his step overs. Moves to eliminate defenders. He suffers a ton of fouls. Again, that comes with kind of the flair, because players bite a little bit and, gets tripped or whatever. And it does lead to free kick opportunities for his team. But I think something to watch going forward when he does come to Arsenal is how much of this actually works on players in the Premier League, because the Premier League is a much better league than the Portuguese league. No disrespect, it just is. So it's going to be interesting to see how much of his flair actually works in the Premier League. His acceleration allows him to pretty much leave players in the dust. Very fast player. And also, he kind of uses it to his benefit when he does get caught in the defensive end. So if he does get beat, or if a through ball is sent, his acceleration or his speed allows him to to come back fairly quickly. So that's something to kind of look for when he does come to Arsenal, and see how much of that he uses. Again, the players are faster, they're better than the Portuguese league. So let's see what happens in terms of that. He's a great crosser of the ball, and he does cross quite a bit. So it's one thing being a great crosser of the ball, but just not really using it too much. But he does both very well. And like I said, the 12 assists kind of speaks on that behalf. 68 matches. Very good assist ratio to matches played. The one thing I will say is his passing percentage is at 79. I have a little rule of thumb where I'm you want to get into that 83 and above percentage. 79 isn't that great, but hopefully as he does age and when he gets more games under his belt, hopefully those numbers do go up. Like I said, 79 isn't the highest percentage. You want to be in probably the mid 80s, maybe even 90s if you're a defender, because oftentimes there's a lot of passing between the center backs and left backs, and quick link ups with the midfielders and things like that. So you want to see that number much higher than what his is at. And we'll see how much he plays when he comes to Arsenal. If Kieran Tierney is healthy, I don't know how much of Tavares we will see. One thing I'll say is I think we will see him quite a bit in the cup matches, whether it's Emirates Cup, Carabao, whatever the case may be. England feels like 7 or 8 different cups that they play in. So I think we're going to see him in those matches. And I'm going to say this, the less of him we see next year, the better, because it's going to mean that Kieran Tierney is healthy. But again, he can play multiple positions. So, if the right back, whoever the right back is, needs a day off, he can kind of slot into there, and maybe you develop him as a right back or something like that. So we'll see how much he does play next year. One thing I will say is, are we going to be shocked if he gets loaned out? Because Arsenal fans were very high on William Saliba when he was coming in. And then, all of a sudden he gets loaned out back to France. And it kind of caught everyone off guard, because we thought that William Saliba and Gabriel would slot into the 2 center back positions, and would be a pairing for the future. Whereas Saliba, was kind of dealt or loaned out to Nice, I believe it was, and yeah, Nice, and he played there quite a bit. He was in the team of the week 3 or 4 times. So we'll see what happens with that. And with Ben White rumors, we'll see what happens with William Saliba going forward. But the thing is, the one thing I'll say is, I was kind of surprised that we maybe didn't go with a little bit more experience at left back. But then again, a week ago, I think I saw it on Twitter that Arsenal are trying to sign young players that they can kind of grow into the team, and that they can kind of develop down the road. So this isn't maybe not that big of a surprise after all. Ben White again is another young player, and there's a bunch of other guys that Arsenal's rumored with, Ruben Neves, who are still young. So you kind of get what's going on here. I'm just glad that a left back was purchased, so we do have someone for Kieran Tierney when he does need a day off, or like I said, in the cup ties. And like the less we see of Nuno Tavares, the better, because that means that Kieran Tierney is healthy. But in a different formation, like a 3-5-2 or whatever the case may be, he could kind of play that left wing back, left midfield role. So we'll see what Arteta has in store for him going forward. And it's a fairly cheap price. I think it's something like 8 million euros plus add-ons. So it's a great price. He's still very young, still has a lot of time on his contract. So we'll see how Arteta does develop him and how he uses Nuno Tavares in the upcoming season.